Hello everyone. Today I'm going to present ASP.NET Core Web API CRUD operation with SQL Server and Entity Framework Core generic code operation. So here is our project. So if we select or execute the get all operation API, execute, then we'll able to get all the personal info list, which is currently we have more than almost 1K if I'm not wrong. Yes, so last ID is 1K. So let me just close the running project. So in this video we are going to create a complete new project, ASP.NET Core Web API project, install require packages. Then we'll create a database, create model, which is database table, add DB context, update database connection string, add and update database migration, create, add the generic repository for code operation. Finally, we'll create a code controller, and once we have done the code controller, then we'll run and test the project. So this is our to-do list. I'm just going to create a new project, web API project. So using the Visual Studio 2020, community version is for the developer is absolutely free. You can use 2020 community version. So create new project. So in the project template, we are going to select ASP.NET Core Web API project. Next, project name is Web API Growth, and I'm going to name it Growth 2. And next, so we have to select the .NET framework, which is .NET 7.0. I already installed. So if you want to check your .NET version, just go to the PowerShell or your terminal. Just type .NET version. So latest version is 8. If you want to see the install .NET SDK, just type .NET info. So I have already installed 5, 6, 7 for different projects. So in this video, we are going to use .NET 7. So you have to make sure .NET 7. Just go to the your browser and type .NET SDK 7.0 download, and then you will get the right link from the Microsoft site. You can able to download the .NET 7.0. Create. So project is creating using .NET 7.0. Initially it will be a API project with the default project, so default template project with like weather API, and there is no controller, and almost the project is like we have just program.cs file, app setting.json, and properties, almost empty. So first, based on our initial plan, what we are going to do, like I will just clear the program.cs file and install the required packages. So let me just clear. So I'm just cleaning the program.cs file and removing the default like weather APIs. Anyways, if we run the project, then we will have the weather API defaults from the program.cs. I'm after running and checking the output of this project, and I'm going to clean this default API. So weather API, and if we try execute, then we have a weather list. Anyways, so project is run successfully. I'm going to remove unnecessary things in the program just after run, and also this. I'm just make sure neat and clean my program process. I will add required things here one by one. So first, what I'm going to do, like create a model first. and then I will install the required packages for entity framework core. Add new folder and materials models. So I'm going to create personal info model. So before creating personal info, I just create base entity, which is created date and updated date and ID as well. Base entity. So we have three field ID created and updated it. So now I will create personal info model, create new class, personal info, add. So in the personal info, I'm going to add almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just copying for avoiding unnecessary things. It's because it's in the project it's added the nullable. I'm just removing the nullable enables. Hopefully then error will be gone. Yes. So we have ready a model. I'm just going to extend base entity so that we can have the default field in this table, in this model. So we have the model. Now I'm going to create using the terminal. Currently, if you just click the project, then nothing. We have just default Open API and ASP.NET Core 6.2 packages. I'm going to install three different packages: Entity Framework Core, Entity Framework Core Tool, and Entity Framework Core SQL Server. So just going to click the project in the right click on the project and open in terminal. So I'm just using .NET command, .NET add package, Microsoft Entity Framework Core version 7.0.5. I'll share three commands in the project. Second one is SQL Server, same, almost same command. And yes, you can see the package is adding instantly. So we have three package for Entity Framework Core, and we have successfully installed three packages, and we have the model. Now I'm going to create DB context for database operation. In the data folder, I'm going to create application DB context. Now I'm going to create like add new folder data for communicating with SQL Server. And I'm going to create another new class, which is application DB context class, application DB context. So in the application DB context, I'm going to extend DB context DB txt DB context. So I just added my personal info model here. So if we just make sure DB context in the program.cs file as a like make sure the connection string. Let me just update the connection string first. In the app setting.json file, we have to make sure. I'm just going to create two connection string. First one is without username and password, and second one is with username and password. I already installed SQL Server 2017. You can install 2017 or later. I'm just copy my connection string. So we have the two. First one is no, just Windows authentication. Second one is username and password. This username and password will be your username and password, and SQL server name. This is your server name. how you are going to get the server name. Just go to your SQL server and type select @ server, then you will able to get your server. So we have ready to connection. I'm going to use con MSSQL in the program.cs file. Now I am going to add required services. First I'm going to add like add controllers, builder dot services dot add controller. Add controllers, done. Already we have Swagger EP Explorer. Now I'm going to make sure application DB context and connection is string. Also the cross setting. So here is my connection is string. So MSSQL use SQL server, done, and I'm passing the connection string here. And I have to make sure two things like add cross and the builder app option. We have to make sure like map controllers and use cross before app.run. So almost we have done our program.cs setting. Just I have to make sure last one things. If we are going to perform database migration, then it will hopefully execute database migration without any error. Web API, I'm just going to name it 2 and 2. So I'm going to use my terminal to for add migration. So same it is I will share the command as well in the project notes. So .NET entity framework for migration init. So .NET entity framework for migration add init create using PowerShell. Just you have to go to the tool and get package manager and package manager console. Using package manager console you can add the migration as well. Enter. If database connection is right and successful, then database migration will be created successfully. So migration created successfully. We have a migration details, and if we run the update, so we have to update, make sure the .NET entity framework for migration at sorry, I just copy the wrong things. Yes. Database update, yes, database update successfully. Table personal info has been created successfully. So we have done the model creation and database connection string and also the database migration. Now we have two major things pending, like create the repository for CRUD operation and create the controller. So I'm going to create a repository in the data folder I repository, and which is in this class I'm going to perform 4 or 5 operation like create, update, delete. And new class I repository interface, it will be interface. I'm just going to copy my existing method here. So we have to define a repository generic T, where T is class. So all error gone. So generic, but in the C sharp support the generic type. So here you can pass any class. That's why it's a dynamic. So we are going to use generic repository because based on our controller, sometime it will be a personal info operation and sometime it will be category operation and based on the project. So that's why I'm going to use generic repository. So our interface is ready. Now I'm going to implement interface now. So we have to create another new class, add new class, which is a repository class. So extend I repository. So it will show error because we have to implement all the method here. I'm going to copy and paste. I will explain. So here we are going to initiate the DB context instance, and we have DB context and entities. And here's the get all operation, get by operation, find by string, and here's the add operation, and here is the delete operation, and finally save change for the common operation. So we have a ready generic repository for CRUD operation. Now we have to make sure this I repository into the program.cs file for dependency injection. So done, dependency injection done here, I repository. So if we're going to build the project, there is no error. Now I'm going to create our final thing, so this is personal info controller. So currently we don't have any controller folder, so I am going to create a new folder like controllers, and in the controllers folder I'm going to create personal info controller. Add new folder, controllers, personal info controllers. API empty controller and personal info controller. So this is empty controller. I'm going to first initiate the personal info repository so that we can perform. So we have a ready instance personal info repository. Using this repository, we can easily now perform create, update, delete, and get by get all operation easily. So we have get all operation using personal info. Just get by and get all, get by name, and save changes, basic operation, add, update, and delete. So we have ready personal info. So here is the advantage of generic code operation. So it currently we are performing personal info if we have like 20 or 30 tables. So based on the table operation, just you need to pass this table name here and easily perform the full code operation. For testing purpose, now I'm going to create some test data, which is seed data, so that we can check the listed data. In the data folder, I'm going to create like add new class, seed data. A seed data table will make sure like 1,000 dummy personal info data, some random numbers, and I'm passing the random string number here. So now I'll create seed data controller so that we can, using the postman call or swagger call, we can perform the seed data operation. Seed data controllers, final. We have just final controller, web API empty controller, seed data controller. So this is the basic empty controller. I'm going to add just one operation, add seed data. personal info. First you have to make sure your personal info repository instance. So we are just in the constructor we are passing the instance personal info repository and add seed data. If database table is content 0, then it will perform like here is the create the instance of seed data. We are getting 1k personal input dummy data, and using the for loop we are performing the operation and finally return. So we have almost done. Now I'm going to summary the project. So if we summarize, like create project, ASP.NET Web API done, using Visual Studio install three different packages, we have performed that operation. Create model, we have create one model which is personal info, add db context, and update database connection is string migration, add migration and update migration done. Generic repository, we have performed this and create one CRUD operation. Now our one task is pending, run and test the project. So if we rebuild and run the project using Visual Studio, you can run the project from the terminal as well. A simple command .NET build, and for the running the project .NET run. Now we have a like personal info complete CRUD operation swagger and also the seed data. First I'm going to perform the seed data so that we can 1000 personal info dummy data, and we can get by get all and perform the other operation as well. So add seed data, try now, execute. So now it is getting 1000 seed data. Total personal info and see 1000. Now if we perform the get by operation, try, let's say pass 1000, execute, see. But if we're going to pass like 1001, then definitely we don't have any data, not found. So we have successfully create 1000 data, get by data, and also the get all. If we perform the get all operation, try, execute, it will take time because 1000 data. And now I'm going to perform, see 1000 data we are getting. We get all the 1000 data. Now I'm going to test add operation. So try, I just copy the input so that we don't have to type anything here. Created date, first name is James, last name born, and some random data. Execute, true, success. So if we try to uh, get this data, it will be get by 1001. Yes, Mr. James. And also we can perform like get by name search operation. Try it. Personal name like James, James. Execute, see Mr. James. So search operation also successful. So if we try to delete operation like one, execute. So delete operation also success. If we try to, so if we try to find id long one again, get by like one, execute, so not found. So summary is using ASP.NET Web API, we can perform full CRUD operation using this project. Also, initially we have make sure 1000 dummy data for testing. We get we can able to get all data, get by data, search by name, add, update, and delete operation. All the things successfully we can perform in this video. So before closing video, I'm just summarizing this project. If you have any question and any confusion, definitely you can ask in the comment section. Also, I'll share the complete project GitHub repository so that you can just download and run the project. So first you have to make sure .NET SDK in your local PC, and also install three required packages: SQL Server, and Fast Entry Framework Core, SQL Server, and Tool. This is the first things, and you have to make sure model, one model, and then database connection string. So once you have done these things, and you have to make sure a database connection in the program.cs file, add services application db context, and I'm just you have to you have just pulling your connection string using configuration get connection string name, and pass the connection string to the application builder.service at db context, and use MSSQL server. So your database connection is string done. So now you can perform the migration. So we have already done the migration in the middle of this video. So once migration done, then your database table is ready into your SQL server. Now you can able to perform CRUD operation. So before performing CRUD operation, you have to make sure CRUD operation generic repository pattern, so that you don't have to repeat code again and again. So advantage of generic repository, less code and do more. So in the data folder, we have just create one interface and implement interface here, just using entity framework core, using the application db context, and perform the full code operation. Finally, you have to make sure controller code operation, and before starting controller, you have to just always initiate the repository, so that using that instant you can perform all required application, all required needs like get by or add delete operation. So hopefully you can understand this process using latest .NET 7.0. We can perform full CRUD operation with web API. So I'm going to closing this video, and we'll share the complete project in the GitHub so that you can download and build and review the code. Very simple. Hopefully, if you have a confusion and queries, definitely you can feel free to ask into the comment section. So thank you again. See you in the next video. Okay, bye.